Głośno, nie głośno? Dobra, Cyclops Combat, no.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live stream in the world of Vera. I am joined today by three glorious
Vera,
developers. Actually, we
jak
have
to
quite a
film.
few of our developers are participating in today's live stream. I'm not going to go through everyone. You'll see their usernames, their game handles on the top left side in our radio. But I have three amazing developers who are joining us today that have all taken part in helping to design the Cyclops and the combat that goes around it. I know you guys in the community have been very excited to kind of see today's demonstration. We're not going to get too elaborate in the designs of the Cyclops raid because we don't want to spoil it for you, but just as a disclaimer, this is one of the very first World Raid bosses that'll be available for players to participate in. So this is
World
not
Raid
super
bosses.
endgame, but it is going to give you some with
Dobra, dawać kochanie, pokażcie trochę
it's
gameplayu.
beautiful. Actually, I really like it. So one of the first things I would love to chat with you guys about is kind of how you set up this particular raid boss, the Cyclops, in the Riverlands. Talk to me a little bit about his pathing. Like, where does he live in the world? What's his backstory? Just tell me things about him.
Yeah, I think you could take this one, Jason.
So yeah,
Chłop dobry. Okej, to pytanie może do ciebie, Jason.
like the Cyclops, his name is Tumok, and a long time ago, he, is from the land of Sujoma. So
Dobra, nie
he's kinda
będziemy
all on
sobie
his-
spoilerować tego, co oni tam robią, o czym gadają. Będziemy sami odkrywać to, co się dzieje, lora i w ogóle. A teraz pokażcie mi, jak to wygląda.
Go ahead.
No dobra, jest cyklop,
Yeah,
okej.
no matter where you look, no matter what path you go down, that there's always a chance you're going to see something you didn't expect or you didn't see before. So
Ej, on normalnie drzewo powala, to wygląda
He's
kozacko, nie?
so massive, and I like how he kind of walks through the trees, triggering their destruction.
O kurde, nieźle.
That's so cool that he interacts with the environment like
Ale
that.
zwróćcie
yeah,
uwagę,
definitely gonna
jak
help
fajnie
you,
wygląda
to
jego
listen.
motyl.
You can just listen in the woods and
Tutaj takie
if he's
porośnięte mchem.
fumbling
Ej, kozak
around,
to
you're gonna
wygląda.
hear him.
Tam jakieś grzyby, beczka.
Oh my gosh, this guy's huge. Now,
Ej, on próbuje
my bad.
zajrzeć mu pod
I
kiecę,
thought
nie
for a
wolno
second
tak.
there he was going to aggro me. But just so you guys are aware in the stream, I've set myself to invulnerable so that we can kind of just walk near him and see his massive nature. And Doug, Jason, talk to me a little bit about the inspiration for this guy as a character model. Like, what were you guys, working with the character teams to kind of? I notice he has this massive tree. Talk to me a little bit about that element.
Yeah, I think that was actually a little bit improvised in the design based on what the character came back with, Jason, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, when the character artists were making this, they had this cool idea of just having this giant tree weapon that a Cyclops would hold, and we took that idea and just kind of embraced it, make it a part of his character and the embellishments that he wears,
Ork czy cyklop?
using that
Jest
to kind of
cyklop.
inform what type of encounter that he might be. So we ended up making the tree like a pretty core part of it.
Ale to czekajcie, to on może być podróżujący? To będzie na YouTube'a, tak więc jeżeli ktoś, kto będzie to oglądał na YouTubie, proszę dajcie znać w komentarzach.
And it informs some of his combat abilities and phase transitions even in the fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a collaborative process. Sometimes it's design asking for something specific from art, and sometimes art is what informs the design, so.
Oh, he looks great. The character did a great job with this. Do you know who's the character artist that worked on this? Was it Keith? I think it might have been Keith.
That's
I think
about right.
Keith or could have been Jency or somebody.
Yeah, they did a great job either way. I mean, it looks looks phenomenal. I know we have a couple of parties that are going to assist us with this particular fight. Talk to me a little bit about this encounter as a raid boss. What is the expectation from the actual raid size that you guys are anticipating for the design?
I think that's gonna vary depending on the level of the raid, obviously, and then sort of how geared they are. But we're kind of aiming for somewhere between 16 and 32, probably depending again on level and equipment.
Very cool. So this guy's a really early kind of world boss, and we want to introduce players early to the idea of these raids. And by the way, as we're kind of chatting about this, those of you who are going to be helping us defeat this guy with our 2 parties, if you want to start heading over to the arena, we are waiting here for you. I will set myself off of the GM invulnerability here. Let me see.
Dobra, a możemy coś dalej dostać?
To me a little bit about kind of the general design approach that you take with creating these types of encounters. You know, there are obviously phases, there's different elements in those phases that kind of change dynamically the way you want players to interact. What are we going to see here a little bit?
Yeah, this is definitely like a more introductory raiding experience, so it's not going to be too complicated, but I think there are some really interesting mechanics regardless, and I think Jason can talk about those.
Yeah, so when I first started designing this guy, you know, we had Trad and the other guys on the archetype team looking at, you know, forming the classes that people have been seeing over the live stream, and you know, really before those kind of come to fruition, and knowing like, you know, what the full abilities are and everything, I started the design with you know, the core trinity in mind. So the roles
tam ludzie,
are
patrzcie.
very obvious. Tanks will tank, healers will heal, and DPS will try to take down the targets.
Świetnie. Tanki będą tankować w tej grze, healerzy będą healerować, a wiecie, DPS będzie po prostu robił bu i tyle. Tak to będzie w tej Assets of Creation, no?
They need to, and starting from there, I try to keep that in mind, not to overcomplicate it, so that they always have that like individual trinity idea amongst the different mechanics.
Ej, ten skill fajnie wygląda,
Yeah, so we got some
zajebiście.
classic staples in here. We've got, you know, ads that off tanks are going to have to peel off, and crowd control that's going to need to be applied to those ads. We've got priority targets that are going to pop up that need to be killed. We've got, you know,
Ciekawe, po ile będziemy zadawać obrażeń, patrzcie. On ma jedynie 300 000 HP.
damage that's going to be unavoidable, so that, you know, even with an expert group that can dodge all of his avoidable attacks, you know, the healers are still going to have work to do to keep everyone alive.
Very cool. Very cool. Love it. You guys will notice, obviously, on the stream that there have been some updates to a little bit of the nameplates that Colby and the UI team have implemented, as well as some of the targeting plates as well. But who do we have as our tank today?
That would be me. Doug will be tanking.
Ooh, Doug will be tanking. All right. Very cool. And then we
No
also
zobaczmy, jak
have.
ten pierwszy boss wygląda.
I'll be playing as a mage, but I will be trying to capture some good shots of the encounter to a degree. Trad, what are you playing?
I am a mage as well, just like you.
Oh, okay, very cool. And then how about you, Jason?
I'm playing the cleric.
Nice. Well, Doug, I don't want to stand in the way of your greatness, so please, by all means, sir, you may commence when ready.
All right, Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy, let's do this!
We got
Try
it.
not to let me die, Jason.
Yeah, no promises.
Oh, he's an angry Tumok. Oh my god, that looks like it hurts.
Yeah, if you don't block that, you get smushed.
Shocked,
Oh,
okej.
I love his animation. So, talk to me a little bit about.
Oni
some
wcale
of
nie
these
zadają-
attacks.
nie
What-
zadają
what
tak
do you
dużo
got going
obrażeń.
on here, Jason and Doug?
So yeah, his first phase here, he has a lot of physical attacks, but he also employs a lot of attacks using his tree, like we see there with the roots hitting us. And right now, you can see he's pulling some fungus out of the tree and using that to.
Dobra, ale sorry, że wam przerywam, ale jak możecie zobaczyć, to healerzy, klerycy i ci inni buffujący postacie strasznie dużą rolę odgrywają i te skille to wiecie, nie jest taki single target, tylko na całą grupę. Ciekawe to wygląda, ciekawe no.
He has a tank spike attack where he smashes the tree into the tank that Doug was blocking earlier. And generally does a lot of like AoE splash damage that other melee will want to avoid, not stand together.
Yeah, he's not a particularly complex raid boss, but he's a great example of sort of what we want to do with large creatures in Ashes. Having them interact with the environment, having that camera shake, that, you know, those knockdowns that make it feel like he is here.
Ej, tam jeden
and he is
tank padł.
crushing you.
No rzuca cały czas jakieś spele ten
Oh, he
kleryk.
looks. Oh my god, he keeps just charging there. I'm just barely missing him. Now, talk to me a little bit about kind of the raid boss designs. Like, you guys are working with multiple stages. I noticed that right now he's just kind of, you know, roaming around. He has different targets on his hate list. Tell me, like, what's your general philosophy? How did you guys approach this?
Yeah, so I think Jason hinted this a little bit earlier, but we designed this boss pretty early on when a lot of the classes were still in their sort of nascent form. So we really just wanted to focus on
Strasznie duży range mają te postacie. Nie, wydaje mi się, że delikatnie to jest za OP.
the trinity, you know, making sure that everyone has a purpose in this raid, a role, whether you're someone who's focused on CC, whether you're a tank, a healer, a DPS, you know, giving those classic mechanics to give everybody a job in the raid. Like right now, for instance, he's put this tree down, and there are going to be these healing caps that appear.
Ej, dlaczego oni biją w jego drzewo? On je zostawił i nagle dostało pasek życia. 80 000 HP ma. Aha, to po prostu jeden stage z nich, tak?
And those are going to be a priority objective for DPS to take down before they grow to full size, because if they do, he's going to go over, he's going to stomp them, and he's going to get healed for a huge percentage of his health.
Wow. So we got to take this tree out because he's just going to keep healing.
Yeah, and you definitely got to switch over to those healing caps when they appear. There it
That's
is.
super cool. So he heals off of the mushrooms as well?
Yeah, and as a player, if you destroy them, or even if he stomps on them, if you happen to be nearby when they blow up, you can get.
No trochę się mogę zgodzić, bo oczekujemy tak prawdę mówiąc czegoś więcej od gry, która wyjdzie no nie wiadomo kiedy w sumie, prawda? To jest full detail 4K, aha.
Heal as well. So if you're taking some
No
damage
to
from
jeżeli
the
to jest
thorns from the
4K...
tree, or
To znaczy, z jednej strony uważam, że to jest ok, bo naprawdę każdy będzie mógł zagrać w tą grę, ale z drugiej strony, no jeżeli na tą grę czekamy, oni tą grę hypują, tak? No to
or
tak
you got hit
trochę...
by one of his
To tak trochę 2 na 10.
large, you know, stomp attacks, you know, you might have a chance to get healed up if you run over to those mushrooms before they blow up.
Okay, we almost have this tree down. Come on, guys, focus it down. Focus major DPS on the tree. Let's try to kill this thing. It's almost done. Get it before he picks it up. Yes, everything. Release it all. Oh,
Dobra,
well
zniszczyli
done.
drzewo, co teraz?
Uh-oh.
On nie będzie miał tego
Oh
drzewa?
my
Kill him now.
God. Why is he so mad?
He does not like when you break his weapon.
Aha.
What the heck?
I mean, who would?
Jason, where'd you get the idea for that, for the kind of tree totem?
Czekajcie. Nie mogę w lepszej jakości tego dać?
A lot of that came from the original design that we got from character art, in that we really enjoyed the way that it synergized with his look. So we wanted to employ the use of the tree as like a core part of his encounter. And we ended up
cool.
using it as like a magical tree where he gets a lot of his abilities. But without that, he seems to get really mad, and his more primal Cyclops giant nature comes back, as we see here.
Czyli jest po prostu wkurwiony chłop.
Wow, that's cool. So talk to me about those kind of slams that he's doing. And also I noticed, like, as he's running around, the trees are falling, the stone obelisks are kind of getting destroyed. Is there intent for these kind of environmental hazards to exist as well as part of the raid design?
Yeah, absolutely. For our large creatures, you know, cyclopses, dragons, things like that.
Te wilki są przywołane, czy one są przywoływane, znaczy one są gdzieś z obrębu lasu, czy one są przywoływane przez tego cyklopa?
We want to make sure that the
Nie,
world
to jest
feels
bardzo dobre
dynamic
pytanie.
and it's reacting to their big size. You know, if a huge, you know, 20-meter tall beast is walking through the woods and not knocking down a single tree, that just doesn't feel believable. So we want to make sure that, you know, you're going to hear that, and that's going to be a way you can know in the distance there's something that you want to go and investigate.
That is super cool. I died. but I'm on my way back.
No,
Do
those slams hurt really bad.
Dali mu radę?
Yeah.
Nie, jeszcze nie.
One of the aspects of the phases in this
On
fight is
taką
actually
falę
that,
uderzeniową rzuca, patrzcie na to.
he has those healing abilities when he has his totem tree, his nature magic, but and he is more primal when he's in this phase. As a result, you can take him down a little quicker when he's enraged, but it's also going to be a lot more incoming damage for your healers to work through. So, depending on your raid composition, your equipment level, you might want to sustain longer in that earlier phase, even if it takes a while through all that healing. Because if you push him too early, you might just wipe.
Oh, I love it, guys.
Here he goes again.
Oh no 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 no!
Finish it.
God!
Nie no, zadaje trochę obrażeń, ej.
I was getting crushed there. It was right under his fist.
Dobra, udało im się go zabić.
Oh, this poor guy.
Very poor.
Look at him. His little eye. Wow, that was very cool. Well done, guys. That was awesome.
Dobra, a
Does
gdzie
he have
jest
any
loot?
loot? Can we loot him? I wonder. Sword of the Briarholm
Aha.
longbow.
Grupowy loot, patrzcie na
A
to.
short bow and a mace. Ooh, very nice. Well, that was a lot of fun. Very well done. I thought that was very cool. Guys, as you guys are
Aha,
watching
jest-
this, remember, obviously this is one of the earliest world bosses in Ashes of
Budowanie.
Creation that you'll have an opportunity to encounter, just getting your feet wet and what the raid boss system's going to look like. We have a lot of fun.
Dobra, no, jeżeli mam być szczery, spodziewałem się czegoś więcej i naprawdę co do Ashes of Creation moje oczekiwania są o wiele lepsze. Dobra, nie zapominajmy, że to są dopiero alfa testy, tak? Więc to wszystko może się zmienić. To jest po prostu surowy no, stan gry. I dajcie znać w komentarzach, co wy o tym sądzicie. Nie zapomnijcie także zostawić łapki w górę oraz subskrypcji. Nara!